Alright, so today we are going to work on a very stupid and niche project, but that's pretty much what this server has become with all of our ongoing, current, future, past projects, and all that fun stuff has been pretty much just for fun at this point. No real practicality or usefulness of these things that we have been doing, but they're still pretty fun, interesting, and unique that nobody else is really ever doing. Because why would they? It makes no sense. It does nothing. And yeah, that's pretty much all of AutoCraft's project at this point. However, there is one cool trick that I did find while looking at a video, as well as just, like on my farm, scrolling some discords and public archives and whatnot, stuff that has been released, but not really people have published too often. So the reason I'm at main storage right here is mainly for this stuff right here. This obviously isn't really a thing anymore in new versions because you don't get bad omen like this with these ominous banners, but from one specific location in the world, you will get a lot of pillagers that it's not from a raid farm, and that is an outpost. However, at least currently, I don't know if this actually works the same in newer versions. It may well. That would be nice. When there's a raid and a pillager walks in or spawns into the area, when they join the raid, they no longer count the mob cap. The mob cap I'm referring to is that 750 out of 140. Because we have 2 players on the server, the mob cap is 140, but we have 750 withers in the overworld and nether that are always loaded for our mob switches. So obviously there are no mobs spawning down here. This is not glass floor, it's pretty old. So this is all spawnable stuff down here as well. I think some of the main storage spots are actually spawnable. Of course, you're not going to get any mobs while that is on, but if we turn that off and head over to a pillager outpost, we can actually get pillagers spawning, which is a good thing for this farm. So what we do is we start a raid in that area that's constantly there. Start it once and done. Will be good, because I think there's something on top of the farm that cannot go down or despawn or anything like that, so it always just stays there. So we got that going for us. I think that's how the farm works in short. Obviously, once we have it built up, we will go and show it off there and break it down entirely. But that's what the premise is here, and when doing this, because they don't count towards the mob cap, you can just spawn infinite of them. So with the farm being a lot of layers and a lot of spawning spaces, there will be a heck of a lot of pillager spawning, and because hostile mobs, which these are considered, spawn every game tick, unlike the passive every 400 game tick cycle, there will be a lot of mobs pretty much in this area. So that's sort of the premises of this farm. We're going to be going to find a location, cleaning out the perimeter, making some decoration, and the farm as we always do. And then, we'll see how it all comes together in the end. So yeah, let's go make that perimeter. I'll probably go to stream this, so of course, links in the description down below if you wanted to catch some of the behind the scenes stuff that we do on the Twitch channel. But yeah, let's go and find our location. Alright, so decoration is done. Some of the farm is built up. We got the first layer in. As you can see, is looking pretty good. The first layer here is, of course, with the carpet, because the first layer actually is spawnable with regular mobs with how we have this farm orientated, and that's due to the fact with the bounding box and whatnot. This was the only height I could get to work in the testing world, so we're going to go with this, and we're going to just have this first floor carpeted. And by color matching it with the block beneath it, it should look okay enough. Obviously, the layers above will all cover this, but it would still have the actual pattern that will be used for all the floors below, be all stacked on top, so it should pretty much be unnoticeable, which is what we're going for. Which is why I went with the carpets, because they're barely taller than a regular block, and use like glass or torches or whatnot, it would be pretty noticeable. So yeah, we're gonna go with that. The drop chutes all down. We do have to slightly modify this farm by Nverted, because apparently mobs still take fall damage on powdered snow from my testing. So we'll have to do powdered snow at every floor. And this little drop chute where they take damage, that's fine. We've tested that as well. But we need a lot of powdered snow, which is why we have all of this stuff over here, which is this side over here. with all filled with powdered snow. That way you can place it 3 per each side, so 12 per level. I think there's about like 20 or so you can do the math there. It's quite a bit. But yeah, full decoration done. Wall printer, thanks to Illyrio again. With the matrix design, we got this thing going on. Looks pretty cool. Fits the theme of the lime in yellow very well for the experience model, which of course this area is themed after. So yeah, the center bit here will probably be a lot lighter than the rest of them, just because as we go up and up, it's just going to get lighter and lighter. But that'll be the farm in the center, which is the idea is that it basically blends in to everything around it, so it's not really noticeable like we have similar other farms. We did the same thing with the spider over here, where the farm was actually covered, so it doesn't look too bad, as well as the squid and whatnot. So something I like to do here, that way it just looks stupid in the end. But yeah, get building on the floor here. Shadow items are going to help a lot with all these colors. Normally this is just like one solid color, but to fit the area a lot better, we decided to build the same pattern as the floor that is underneath it as the spawning pads to bring it all together. So yeah, maybe jump into a quick time lapse of building all these layers, and we'll go from there to actually see this crazy, ridiculous farm in action. Alright, so the full farm is built up. The only thing we need to get last in here is the villagers. I have all the powdered snow in every single layer just because the modification we needed to do, it wasn't terrible. You know, we had the powdered snow saved up from the powdered snow farm, of course. But yeah, everything's all done and dusted. I also did add these slight modifications by me here with these powered rail lines and the dispensers with lava buckets. I added this to kill any other pillagers that would fall down. Basically, that will just keep everything in order, in a sense. So that way we can kill off the excess ones we're not going to use, because this thing will lag very quickly if you're not killing the pillagers. Yeah, in the test world, we had a layer where they weren't walking over for some reason. So pretty much what happened is they were just like all piling up, and there was about like 3,000 or 4,000 in a minute or so. So yeah, we don't want that to happen. And yeah, everything's all good to go basically. I'm just about to start a 24-hour stream because all of you guys had some lovely support. I did a goal that if I hit 20 subs, I would do a 24-hour stream on Twitch, and we hit that very, very quickly. So we are now going to take part in a 24-hour stream. So I'm going to get a lot of projects done. I'll probably do a lot of intro clips to different projects to start. I'm probably going to start over here with getting the villagers in. That way we can wrap this one completely up. Because the floor is glass, the decoration is done. Basically done. It's just the last bit of the villagers. So, yeah, that's what we're going to do for today. We're not going to be dead afterwards, so there probably not be any more streams for like a day or so after, just because I'm going to pretty much want to not do anything. Maybe even with this game, who knows. But it'll be fun. It'll be fun. We get a lot of stuff done, which is always a good thing, so I'll get cracking with that, and we'll be back once it's fully done. That way we can show it in action, watch the stream. We'll probably see it before all you guys, so if you're not already following, make sure you do that. You get a lot of early access to the project we're working on, and I do obviously do a lot of the stuff on stream, even though a lot of it's not really recorded. But yeah, be back once this area is fully done. We can see the farm in action. Alright, so the farm is completed. This is not going to be the first time testing it, because obviously I did build that on stream, I believe, and we tested it right after. So yeah, here is everything all done and dusted. We got our Ravager up here. That is going to be our raid bar. That means that, you know, there's always constantly a raid going on here, because this guy can not move and go down and whatnot. And we got all of our villagers in the center here. I did have to actually block this stuff off, because we were losing a couple of villagers every here and there. But because we had to add the powdered snow, they were falling just slow enough that they could actually get an arrow off some occasionally. So we did have to actually do that there to stop that, which means, you know, it's a lot more powdered snow and they take a little bit longer to go down. As you can tell by our MSBT with the farm fully running, yeah, it's not really that big of an issue, because we can easily handle it. Yes, you know, some of them that spawn right in this path right here will not aggro also instantaneously, so that will slow it down a little bit there as well. But if we make our way down here into the chamber, you can see we have a toggle that I did add as well. It's a little bit loud, but I added a toggle to kill all of the pillagers while we're not actually using the farm, because as you can tell, this would lag the game very, very quickly. So when I turn the farm on and off, I do toggle a couple of dispensers that dispense some lava that kill any pillagers that are left over. So I'm going to just run a quick command here that'll show all of the amount of pillagers we have at any given point in time. So we just give all of the pillagers glowing for 1 second. 686 pillagers at any given point in time, which is absolutely insane. All of the drops are just getting burned, and we have our last villager down here. A bunch of crossbows and banners that are just not really useful, so yeah, I'm going to fill up my inventory because I don't want to have to deal with all of these items down here. Alright, that's all fixed, so we should be good now. And now we can actually just enjoy the farm as it is. All of the pillagers. It's actually quite difficult to see the amount of pillagers that is actually spawning here. Because even if I go down the center here, it's kind of like the numbers. It's very hard to like calculate this in your head, because there's just a constant flow of hundreds upon hundreds. If I apply this glow infect again, we got 606. So, you know, there's always that many pillagers every second. It is absolutely unreal to just even fathom that the amount of pillagers that are always here at any given point in time when the farm is running. Even when it's not running, this is the speed that you are getting. I could sit here and watch this all day. I mean, look at the XP going up. Every swipe, every second, I'm getting like a third or fourth of a level at over 130 levels. That's because of XP no cooldown, of course, but this is actually all the XP that we are getting. Not a single one of this is getting burned, wasted, any of that stuff. Everything is getting absorbed by the player down there. So, as you can imagine, we could probably repair a single pickaxe within like 1 to 2 swipes, which is just unreal. Only downside for a server setting, of course, is the mob switch, and the overworld has to be turned off because obviously we need them to be spawning. And as you can tell, it's not even being affected by the mob cap itself. It still could be, you know, raised a little bit because we're not hitting the 70 mob cap, but they're a little bit close, so it's 6 and 6. So, because it does take them a little bit of time to join the raid, it's not, you know, instantaneous for them spawning in. It does take it down. Of course, link in the description down below to the original created down there. I believe the concept was from Nico, but of course, Nico likes to put their farms behind the paywall. So we are using Nverted's one, which I believe also is much better overall. Bit more redstone, but I obviously don't mind that at all. And I think it just looks pretty sick as well. And yeah, overall, I think this project turned out really amazing. We got the matrix walls with the floor design that we have down here with the color-coded glass, which I think works very, very well. Emerald beacons to give us all the effects to fully AFK this if we needed to. And of course, fits the green theme of this area. And yeah, overall, very sick concept. Very not practical or useful unless you really needed some XP. But I guess this could be a very fast way to get a lot of those ominous bottles in new versions. Of course, you would need a collection. But this collection down here does handle everything. It all just gets burned up right there. So yeah, almost 500,000 pillagers, probably a couple 100,000 have been from this farm alone. Just from the little bits of just sitting here and admiring the villager, I guess, stream, wave, influx, whatever kind of word you want to give to it. This has been a very satisfying farm to watch run. A bit of hiccups with trying to get it to work properly because the one layer of powdered snow unfortunately did not stop fall damage. I believe that is in the newer versions, like I probably have said before, but we got it to work in the end and everything is all functioning. So maybe when we update, you know, this farm will obviously be a little bit slower because of the height map increase, but if it's still above 300 villagers every second, I mean, I think it would still be very fast to get a lot of ominous bottles in very quick succession. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this episode. Make sure you like, subscribe, all those sorts of things, and I will see you in the next one.